understand. That is why we can talk about communication being possible. Because when I ask you a question, you are able to answer. Why? Why? Because you understand me. The ideas I'm using, the terms I'm using, the language I'm using, you understand. So when I communicate, you're able to understand or hear me. So that's what the world of reality we share, the two of us, the communicator, the speaker, and the read and the listener. They share a common universe. So whenever I speak, we share a world. So when I speak, you understand me. I mean, you've had spoken. No, I'm taking my time. Sometimes when I speak, you may not understand. Why? Because probably, now maybe the way I speak, my accent or something, maybe it may be different. But you see, but at least you largely understand what I'm saying. So that is why, because we share a world of reality. If I were to have spoken Hebrew or to have spoken French or maybe any other language, there will not be communication because you have to understand. You don't understand me. The idea, the things that I use, the terms I use, you wouldn't understand. So it means that here communication will not take place. It won't be possible. Why? Because we don't share the same world. So that is what, so the world of reality speaks about, it denotes the universe of the objects, the ideas and meanings, which are shared by both sender and receiver. And that is what makes communication possible. Then we have the signal. That is what is within the triangle. Now, the signal is the means of communication. If it is artist, it is the work that he has done, that he has worked, he has made, it is carvings. Now, that's what it, and for the writer or the one who is writing, it is the text. So, and for a speaker and the reader, as a message, the message that I'm giving, that is the signal. That is what it is. It is the means of communication. We communicate through message, through talking. So what I'm doing. So in that case, this is what. If somebody is a writer, when you read his book, it is the text he has written. That is the means of communication. So he communicates to you through the text. So for a text, it is the communication. It is the means of communication for the writer. So if you are interpreting a text, what happens? You are interpreting something written by somebody. So that text you are interpreting becomes the means of communication. It is a signal. So that is what the communication, these are the factors. So we have 4 factors. Speak, sender, receiver, world of reality, and then signal. This is what communication theory has provided as demonstrating the means of communication, how communication takes place. The communication takes place, started by the originator, then the one receiving it, or those who are involved in the communication process. Then we have the communication process because it is through, it is made through some, because the sender and the reader understands the sender. Why? Because they share world. It's a world of reality. And then they understand because you're reading the text, which is written in English. So you also understand it. The ideas that are in there, you understand. So what happens? So it means that communication is taking place. It's taking place because you understand the language. And then the ideas in there. And then it is the text that becomes the means of communication. So that is what communication theory has provided, linguistics, in linguistics especially. That's what it has provided. Have I made myself clear? Have you understood what I'm trying to show? Are you there? Batman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you gotten what I have tried to present?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please, not clearly, especially the signal.
The signal. This. So if you have drawn, okay, if you have drawn you know a triangle, Schlegel.
Yes, please.
You know how to draw a triangle.
Yes, please.
Good. So when you draw a triangle, there will be within the triangle, the space within the triangle. That's what we can refer to as a signal. So if you have drawn one, what is within is a signal. So we put a signal in there, within it, in the womb of the triangle. And that signal will be the means of communication. So if it is somebody writes for somebody to read. So what he has written, the text, becomes a signal. If it is an artist, he draws, and he draws for somebody. Now, what is the signal there? The signal is what he has drawn, the carvings that he's made. So the carvings become the signal, because that is what is communicating. So it is through that you get to know him. So that is a signal. So the signal is what we have in the books. The womb of the triangle is the signal.
Okay, sir.
Yes, legal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good. So who else? Now you see. So if somebody is pregnant, maybe. Now, what is the signal there?
Is the baby.
Exactly. It's the baby in the womb. So that is what the signal. That is what telling that I see what they are, because I see a womb. So the baby will be the signal. So that is what we're talking about. Good. So, right. So that is what we call communication process. And the things that we have looked at, we have explained, which means the sender, receiver, the world of reality, and the signal are what we refer to as factors. They are the factors that are involved in the communication process. So if you want to make communication, we need a sender. Somebody has to originate it. And then you have somebody who receives it. And then we have because now the sender and then the receiver, they understand each other. Why? Because they share a world. There's a world of reality. That is what it is. That is making the communication possible. Because if they don't understand each other, there will be no communication. Then we have the signal. So these are the things we refer to as the factors. Factors making communication possible. Take note of that. It's very important because at least I can tell you, you have it. When you arrive your exam, you will see something like that. So communication triangle. And this is from linguistics, and it's a communication theory. So that is the formula, the illustration. Now, if we should apply this, if we should apply this to you studying biblical hermeneutics. Now, this is what we have. Now, if you should apply this to biblical, the model that we have, what we have, if we should apply that to biblical interpretation, if we should apply the model we have to biblical interpretation, then how would our triangle look like? Now, this is how it will look like. So we said, so the first what we did was the theory communication triangle given to us by linguistics. Now, if we should take what we have, now, if we carry it over to, we are studying biblical hermeneutics. So if you carry it to biblical hermeneutics, how would it look like? So that is what we want to look at. Now, we can do this. Again, we have the triangle in the form that we have it, pointing downstairs. So we can have originator. So the sender will be originator or originators. Then the receiver will maybe audience. Then the world of reality could be universe of ideas and events. Universe of ideas and events. And then signal will be biblical text, the text. So we have originator, we have audience, originator or originators, we have audience or audiences, we have universe of ideas and events. And then we have biblical text, a signal. Now, so that's it. Now, what do we mean? Now we want to explain. Now you have seen. Now, so if you draw another triangle, just as we did. Now, these are the things. Now, what do they mean? The factors. Now, the originators will be the author or authors, or an editor. So you have an author or authors, or an editor or editors, or a redactor. A redactor is REDACTOR. REDACTOR. A redactor, or it could be the community. Because community, why? Because the Bible, who have come from a community church. So when you read the Bible, some interpretation, some of the readings you have will be from a church. So that could be, so it could be a community. So we say that the originator, in this case, will be when you apply what we did, the triangle, the communication triangle, by illustrating the communication process, the communication theory. Now we have originator, audience, universe of ideas and events, and then biblical text. And we're saying that the originator will be represented by either an author or editor or a redactor or the community. Now, I hope you know that I'm giving marks. I'm giving you marks for answers that questions you answer. So now, what is the difference between author and editor? So what's the difference between an author and an editor? Author and editor.
Hello, sir.
Yes. So yes.
I would like to try.
Yes, because everybody is trying. So what do you say?
Editor.
Editor.
To say author, that's the writer of a book.
Author is a writer of a book.
And then the editor is the one who edits the writings before it is published.
Now, if that, in fact, the word we want you to explain is editor. But if we say editor,
The one who reads through to make corrections and make sure the text is on point before it is published.
the one who reads through. You say one who reads through.
To make corrections of the text before it is published.
Okay. So again, he said he reads through. What if you read through? Have you? If you read through, is that read through? Because you can read through, yes. So I
Yes,
didn't
that is
again.
reading through, which is correcting the errors and making sure that the text has the correct understanding and the correct rules are in place before it is published.
Okay, good. Maybe I would good. I would yes. So okay, Batman. Okay, so Batman. What do you say? Editor. You
Yes,
have
sir.
yes.
I will say that the author is the brain behind the work. He brings the idea and writes the manuscript or the text. That is the author. But the editor, in the other hand, is the coach who analyze the performance of the author. He identifies the weaknesses, the strengths, and also provide guidance and precise cuts needed to make the work a meaningful one or very attractive and good. So that's what I can say.
What do you mean by attractive?
Making it catchy or like
What do you mean by catchy? Yes. What do you mean?
attaining the main purpose of which it was written.
I think the main purpose. Okay. The main purpose for which it's written.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, right, Travis, I would think that we may say that maybe the two of you, you and Sugar, maybe saying the same thing. Okay. Good. So, right. So that's it. So, in fact, you get max for that. You've done, I mean, good. So, Sugar. Right. Good. So, fine. So, see, we can have 2 minutes. One, we can say editor, the writer especially is the one who is writing, who is responsible for the writing, the book. So his name is there, the one who sat down to think, to formulate whatever is there. He wrote it, is the writer of the text. Now, an editor could be one who checks. He checks and corrects text before they are published. Now, this one way, in fact, we can have is when you have books, we have some, when you look at it, some are authors. The author is maybe Batman this, which means that his name is there, he wrote the book. Or we can say the author is Schlegel. Now his name is there, he's responsible for the production of the text, the book that is there. Now, the other way, but then when you read certain books, you will notice that they have the name or the names there, the names of the people, maybe Sugar, for example. They may have Sugar or they may have Batman. But then they will write there they will write against it ED or editor. I guess you have seen something like that before. So you may have a book, at times it's author, nothing is written against the name, it's just author. That's simple. At other times, now, it will be that they will write the name, then they have put the editor. At times, there could even be 2 or 3. They write the editors. Now, when that also is part of the, now, when that happens, then we say that that editor is a person who collects pieces of writing. Now, because when you take the book, you come to realize that when you look at the book has the editor. But when you open it, you see other names. So there may be an article, probably something on hermeneutics. There's something on maybe Bible. But then at the end of every writing, or before that, then there's a name there, a name attached to that particular topic. Hermeneutics or anything, Bible or something. The person, they write the whole writing there, and then the name is attached to it. So there'll be a name attached to Bible. There'll also be a name attached to the writings on hermeneutics. So everyone has a name. Meanwhile, at the back of the book, you have maybe somebody, a person or 2 people or 3 people, and they've written against their names editors. Now, when that happens, when you see a book of that nature, this editor means that it is these 3 people who collected, no, they would collect pieces of writing, the pieces of writing by different authors, and that is why we have hermeneutics, Bible, all these things. So these are the writings that have been done by authors in the Bible. They have done that, and then these people, the editors, were those who prepare. No, they will collect these writings, and then they prepare them. They prepare them for publication in a book or a series of books. So that is what an editor is. So editor, we have to, he checks and corrects text before they are published. He's an editor. In fact, you can see journals, magazines, newspapers. At times they will have editorial, editorial. The editor will write some editorial, who tries to tell you, he's an editor. So all the things that were collected, all the stories that were brought in. When you go to the Ghana, maybe the Ghana newspapers, you may see an editorial. And then all the news, they have people who collected, who brought the information. So we have correspondents who collect whatever happened, maybe in Cape Coast, in Accra, in Takoradi, that, and then they will send them. Now the editor will collect all this. He will check and correct whatever is, and then before the newspaper is published. That is an editor. And again, and then another one is again in a book. We have a book or a series of books. Then we have editors or an editor, and he will check. He will collect all these writers, different writers from different authors, and then he will prepare them, and then for publication. Publication in either a book or series of books. So that is that is an editor. So we have those who wrote those articles. We call them articles. They are the authors. They are in the book. The whole book is bound. And then we have the editors, those who put them, who selected these, and then and put them together are called editors. So that is an editor. So the originator could be an editor. Have I made myself understood? You hear me? You understand what I'm explaining?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you better, because I can assure you, you see these things in your exam. So that's why I'm taking my time. You have them in your exam, and you'll be explaining these. So that is why I want to take my time to explain that. Good. Now, so Stella, welcome. Stella, you don't talk. You don't talk at all when you come. So you see, your friends are scoring. They have marks. They are winning marks. Batman is winning so much. And all that. Schlegel is also this. Charity today, she's not talked. And then, so Stella, because whatever happens here is going to be part of your exam, your score. So I told you that I want participation, so you have to participate. So if you want to pass well, then so those who are trying to participate, they score marks. Batman has a lot because Batman is always answering questions and doing well. So I can assure you, Batman would do well. That because the scores he's having, at least by now he is moving from B to B in B plus. Okay. But Stella, you're not talking. I don't know whether you're here or I don't know. Okay, so we can continue. So good. So we have, I said we have originator, which means we can be represented by an editor or an author or a redactor. Good. What is or who is a redactor? Redactor. Who can be referred to as a redactor? Redactor. I hope you hear me. Are you there? I'm asking a question.
Yes,
I don't know.
sir.
I don't know whether you've all left or you're all sleeping.
Some have left.
So
So we are
The
there.
network. Maybe the
Oh.
network.
network.
Yes, sir. Sir,
So,
please, the spelling of the redactor.
redactor, I say is REDAC TOR
Okay.
REDACTOR. Redactor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my dear. So good. So now that I've spelled it, now if you say redactor, what do we mean by redactor? Okay, Pina.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now today Pina is talking. Okay,
Okay.
okay, Pina. So what do we mean by a redactor?
Sir,
Yeah.
is someone who puts tests together appropriately so that it will be published.
Now, Pina, what do we mean by put together appropriately? I don't know what you mean by put together appropriately. Unless, does anybody understand what Pina is saying? The one who puts text together appropriately. So please, if anybody understands her, you can let me know, you can explain it. Because I don't share the same universe with Pina. So, Pina, you make yourself clear so I will understand. If you say one who puts text together appropriately, what does that
Sir,
mean? Yeah. Yeah, I'm listening. We're listening. Yeah.
sir,
Pina, are you not talking? Yeah.
sir, is
I have been said it's okay. So talk now.
Okay.
Like
Correct
what?
way of arranging the test.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Now, Sheena, I didn't.
Sir,
Yeah. Yeah, you have been calling said now I'm really tired of hearing that.
sir, I'm having a severe cough, so when I try to talk, I cough. I said that the correct way of arranging the test.
Who is behind the text? Is that who is behind the text?
The correct way of arranging the test.
What is correct? Correct means what? If you say some correct way is what? What is the correct way of arranging the text? If you say correct way, what is correct way? Okay, Charity. Charity says
Okay.
she wants to explain it.
The redactor is also serving as the editor, as we've looked at first, who edits the text or arranges or compile them into a final form of the writing.
So are you saying that redactor and editor are the same? Is the same job?
Yeah, yes.
Then why should we have why should we have two names for it? The same work.
The
We have
work
the
of
same.
an editor is also done by the redactor. The
Now,
redactor also, yeah, is also
so
someone who edits.
okay, Charity. Me, I'm saying that. I'm asking. Now, if we have charity, and they are the same thing. So what do we have charity and charity? Then we don't need to have two charities because the one charity will be enough. Because if you say redactor is the same as author, editor, then why do we have two words? Then I don't understand why we should have two words because they do the same work. Then how can we say? Then we cannot say. Then we should have said editor,
Okay.
redactor. We have said editor or redactor, but we didn't say. I didn't say editor or redactor. I said editor, redactor, and so these are individuals. No, they do different work. So
Okay, sir.
charity. Let me
Yeah.
understand. Yes.
The redactor is a person who
Mhm.
later arranges or combine writings of the author. So with the editor, he or she is someone who might have polished or corrected the language or the details.
Yeah.
So, and so they are of two different things. I've got you, sir.
So the redactor, that's what?
The redactor arranges or compiles the materials into a new or final version.
It compiles, arranges the material into a new or final version.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Batman, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. I can say that the redactor's job or his work is to make sure certain information are not seen or to prevent certain information from the general public. As like there are certain information that are so critical that shouldn't be known by everybody. So the work of the redactor is to make sure that the public's right to information is balanced with the legal and ethical obligation of the writer. So that is it. He is to prevent certain vital information to eliminate certain vital information from the public so that they will not.
Why? Why? Why does he hide? So it's because of public, he hides other information. That's what you're saying. But when he hides information from the public, is that what you're saying?
Per the legal from the legal perspective, there are certain information that is so personal and it
Mhm.
shouldn't be made known to everybody to everybody. So he has to make sure that it the legal basis of the letter that is the letter I can say that
That's okay, that's the little you can say. In fact, what you are saying, I would think that it's more like an editing, you see? Because when the you see the stories, the journals that then even the newspapers and the news that you hear on television and all that. Now that is actually the editor's work. Because when they bring the information from correspondence from other places, now when they come, what happens? The editor of the newspaper or whatever it is, now they will look at it because he will bring a whole lot of things. What actually did happen? For example, now when he brings them, then some of the information there's probably they would say, oh no, this one is not good. It's not nice for us to give to the public. So we shall then he removes it. So when we say the definition we gave, especially you gave to editor, as somebody who checks and correct tests before they are published, like Pina and what you are trying to say. That's what the checking and the correction is. So they will look at it and sift it and try to look, okay, this one is good, this one is not good. Look, the television you watch, it is something that has been edited. Now, because when somebody goes, he takes a picture. Here now in Ghana, for example, I see a lot of people, some ladies. Yesterday I was going to Takrede. Now along the road, I go to a town. What did I say? A woman, I think she is a bit deranged, completely naked, carrying something and standing along the road, naked in the town, completely. Supposing an editor or a correspondent is sending a message from the place, he is taking a picture, the road bad, the place was so bad, and he's taking a picture there. When he takes a picture, it will take the woman also. Take a picture. Now, when the thing gets to the editor of the magazine, the paper, maybe in Ghana, you don't want to see that. So they will edit that out. So he will not allow that picture to be seen. That is an editor's job. That they do it. So they will remove certain things from it and try to give them, okay, this one is good for them to know. That will be more of an editor's work. So that is where I would take it. But actually, the Pina, you wanted to say something?
Sir, please, my hand is up.
Who, Sugar or Pina? Which one? Pina's hand is Sugar. Okay, Sugar.
Sir,
Please, I would like to say that redactor is someone who reduces or simplifies the meaning of a text or the idea.
Simplify.
Yes,
What do you
that is
what do you mean simplify?
That is taking out unnecessary text so that the text will be of correct understanding before publishing.
Okay. Okay, Pina.
Sir,
Yes.
I wanted to add in that after the job of the editor,
Yeah.
it is the duty of the redactor to publish the text to the market.
Okay, then that's a publisher. So it's not editors, redactors, then there's a publisher. You said editor has done it. So who is publishing? The next is publishing. So the publisher does it. The publishing, the machines, they'll put in the machine will do that. So that Pina, that will not be redactor's work. Now, what I think in this case, Charity did very well. I think Charity tried to say something which is more meaningful. Now, who is a redactor? Now, we're saying that a redactor compares. Now, he compares things, selects, arranges, and edits text. So I said he compares, he put them together. Now, he selects, and selecting those that should be selected, arranges, then he arranges them, and then edit. He does the work of the editor. You see, so it means that it is not he. So in reduction, you also do some editing. You select. Now you would compile the text. You arrange them, and then you try to edit it, change certain things or whatever. Now, all this. So that's how he does. He collects. He compares. He collects. He compares. He selects. He arranges and edit sources, written sources, I say. It could also be oral. Now, written or oral sources into a new literary document. So he compiles, arranges, selects, and edits written or oral sources into a new literary document. That is the difference between editor and author. Editor will check and correct the text before they are published. No, the reading, the mistake, whether correction, maybe spellings or something of this nature. He will do all those things and check the way it is written. But when it is a redactor will compile, select, arrange, and edit other oral or written text into a new literary document. That is what he does. Now, we'll give you an example of a redaction. You see the Gospels in the Bible, the Gospels that we have. Have you studied anything on the Gospels? Now, again, I want to understand. Everybody has to listen to this. Today's lecture is very important. If you want to pass, if you want to get something to write in, then today's lecture is very, very important. So that is what I am taking time to explain things. Now, have you done anything on the gospel? Ever? Have you written out something, a course on the gospels? Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yes, sir, we have done something.
Yeah, but if you don't hear me, if you don't talk, then I wouldn't know that. So, good. So we know synoptic gospel, synoptic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which are the synoptic gospel? Which gospels are called synoptic?
That's Matthew, Mark, Luke.
Matthew, Mark,
Luke.
and Luke. And why are they synoptic? What does that mean? Synoptic.
They have similar stories about Jesus.
They have similar stories about Jesus. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's take that. Right. So they are synoptic gospel. Now so you see you said they have similar stories. Now when you read these stories, I don't know whether anyone has a Bible with him or her. Does anybody have a Bible there?
Yes, sir.
Sugar, you have a Bible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So good. So now good. So Pina has one, Sugar has one. So Sugar, and then so the two of you want to do something. Now you should open, one of you should open the book, the Gospel of Mark. Now, when you open the gospel, one should open Gospel of Mark, and the other should open the Gospel of Matthew. So, who is having Mark? Who has opened to the Gospel of Mark?
It's me, sir.
That's Schlegel.
Yes, sir.
So, Schlegel, you're going to read for us. You're going to read for us Mark chapter 1, verse 9 to verse 11. Then, Pina, you're going to read Matthew chapter 3, verse 13 to 17. So, Pina, Matthew chapter 3, verse 13 to 17. Now, Schlegel is reading Mark chapter 1, verse 9 to 11. So, Schlegel, you read first, and then Pina will read second. And I want all of you to listen. I'm going to ask questions after the reading. If you get it, the one who get it, 3 marks. Right?
Okay,
So,
sir.
Schlegel, you start.
Okay. The baptism of Jesus. In those days, Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. And when he came up out of the water, immediately he saw the heavens being torn open, and the Spirit descending on him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, "You are my beloved Son. With you I am well pleased." Amen.
Good. Good. Read again the last one. I hope you are listening carefully. I'm going to ask questions. If you answer a question, 3 marks. Again, put the last one.
Okay, the baptism of Jesus. In those days, Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. And when he came up out of the water, immediately he saw the heavens being torn open, and the Spirit descending on him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, "You are my beloved Son. With you I'm well pleased." Amen.
Okay. Right? Now the next is Pina. You're also going to listen to Pina. Pina, Matthew chapter 2, verse 13 to 17.
Sir, please, Matthew chapter.
3. Pina, if you are not clear, then let me. Pina, you say Matthew chapter 3, verse 13 to 17.
Okay.
Chapter 3, verse 13 to 17. The baptism of Jesus. Then came
We
Jesus
can
from
hear you.
Galilee to
Pina, if you're not, if your connection is bad, let somebody read it. Because we want to hear you. This is
John.
what who has
Okay, Madam Pina, let me
Sir,
help.
I can continue.
so Charity, you can
Matthew chapter 3, reading from verse 13 to 17. Then Jesus came from Galilee to the Jordan to be baptized by John. But John tried to deter him, saying, "I need to be baptized by you, and do you come to me?" Jesus replied, "Let it be so now. It is proper for us to do this to fulfill all righteousness." Then John consented. As soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water, and at that moment heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased." Amen.
Good. Now read again.
Matthew chapter 3, reading from verse 13. Then Jesus came from Galilee to the Jordan to be baptized by John. But John tried to deter him, saying, "I need to be baptized by you, and do you come to me?" Jesus replied, "Let it be so now. It is proper for us to do this to fulfill all righteousness." Then John consented. As soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water. And at that moment, heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased." Amen.
Good. I hope you have heard the two readings. Now, let's take Mark as the one who wrote the text. He was the first writer or the first author. And when you study the synoptic gospels, they will tell you that now the one who wrote, they all see things together, but the one who wrote first is the gospel. The first gospel is that of Mark, and the others, Matthew and Luke, they copied it. So they had it as a source when they were writing their gospels. Good. If it is, now, can we say that Matthew, having Mark as a source, redacted it? And if he did, what are those things he redacted? So now, you tell me something that you see, maybe it is, how is Mark a reduction of Matthew? In what way? Yeah. Now, any question? So the answers. So I'm asking. I don't know whether did you understand the question? Did you understand the question I was asking?
Yes,
So the
sir.
question again.
The question is: you have heard two readings, and they are all about the same thing. It's all about the baptism of Jesus. One from Mark, and the other from Matthew. Now, if you did hear them, now my point, what I'm saying is, Mark is seen to be the first who wrote the gospel, and Matthew had it as a source, he copied it. And in the whole story about Jesus' baptism, the two. Now, did Matthew redact Mark? And if he did, how? Why are the places where with the definition we've given to reduction or reductor, how did he redact it? What can you see? How did Matthew redact John and redact Mark? So you point to me some of the places that you think has been redacted. Yeah? Oh, you don't want the max? Okay. 3 max.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sugar.
Please, I may say that Matthew redacted Mark from 18, from verse 18.
Tell us. Read what you mentioned. You tell us.
Where he wrote, "And when Jesus was baptized, immediately he went up from the water, and behold, the heavens were open to him.
That is from which book? From which gospel?
That is Matthew. This is Matthew. So from Mark, this is what Matthew redacted from Mark.
So what did Mark say, which you think is a reduction by Matthew?
Mark said that.
Martinam, please let me get you clearly. Do you mean verse 18 of Matthew, or because the
Yeah,
chapter 3 it ends at verse 17? What I
that
read
is
is from chapter
So,
3.
good. So you just tell us maybe, oh, Mark wrote this, and this is what
that
Mark.
is the 16 of Matthew, verse 16 of Matthew.
So
But
what?
in Mark,
18, that's why.
Okay. So Mark. So what is it? Why do you say it's a reduction? What did Mark say, and what is Matthew saying?
okay, Mark says, and when he came up out of the water, immediately he saw the heavens being opened, and the Spirit descending on him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, "You are
And
my
then
beloved Son."
what is the okay? And what is the reduction of Matthew? You say Matthew has.
Yes, that is, and when Jesus was baptized, immediately he went up from the water, and behold, the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and coming to rest on him. And behold, a voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." That is what is redacted from Mark.
Okay, sir.
I don't understand.
The redaction of Matthew from Mark is what I just read. That is verse 16 of Matthew.
So which one did you read? Because you have read Matthew, so you have to tell. Oh, maybe it is because I don't seem to get what you are saying.
I'm saying that Matthew redacted these verses from Mark. From Mark
Yeah. So, but we should,
chapter 10. From
so we
Mark chapter 1, verse 10.
so we should know all that I want. Okay, you can tell. Okay, this is what Mark is saying, and this is what Matthew is saying. So because from this we see a reduction, this and that. That's what. So let us see the two. So this is what Mark is saying. This is what Matthew is saying. And I think that because of this, there's a reduction. That is what I want to know. This is what we are
Okay,
asking.
so sir. What Mark is saying here is, and when he came up out of the water, immediately he saw the heavens being opened, and the Spirit descending on him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, "You are my beloved Son, with you I'm well pleased." And this is what Matthew 2 is saying in verse 16. And when Jesus was baptized, immediately he went up from the water, and behold, the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and coming to rest on him. And behold, a voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I'm well pleased." Here,
So what
the verse is saying the voice of heaven said, and in Mark, it said a voice came from heaven, but Matthew is saying this is what the voice of heaven said. So Matthew redacted this verse from Mark.
So you are saying that, if I get you clear, saying that Matthew says, and a voice. So Mark says what? Mark says what?
Mark
Mark
says,
you see, good? And a voice came from heaven. Is that what you're saying?
yes, please, I'm coming to read that portion. A voice came from heaven. A voice came from heaven. You
So
are my
Mark,
beloved. Yes, a voice came from heaven. You are my beloved son. With you I am well pleased. But Matthew is saying that a voice from heaven said. A
so
voice from heaven said. So this verse is redacted from Mark.
so what do you mean by reduction?
That is
A voice
the
from
text is edited from Mark to be rearranged in Matthew.
okay. All right. Okay. Charity.
Okay, sir. Thank you. With these two chapters,
Which two
sorry, these two books,
Yeah.
Mark and then Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are looking at it to be something from Mark, a reduction. Because from the beginning, that's the verse 9 of Mark, he said Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee. But with Matthew, he made it that Jesus came from Galilee to be baptized by John in Jordan. And with this, Mark made it simpler or more direct.
So why is the who is redacting? Who is redacting who?
Matthew redacting Mark.
Okay, so Matthew says, and Mark says that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee.
Yes.
And then Matthew says,
Matthew from Galilee to be baptized by John.
So what is the redaction there?
Yeah, making it Galilee, not bringing Nazareth of Galilee.
Okay, so Matthew says Nazareth of Galilee. Matthew says
Nazareth.
And then
Matthew said Galilee, and Mark said Nazareth of Galilee.
Matthew says Galilee.
Yes.
Okay, Matthew says Galilee, and then Mark is saying Nazareth of Galilee.
Of Galilee, yes.
So it means that so you are saying that the Matthew is what? Redacting Mark.
Yes.
By
Matthew's version is being redacted. And with this one,
Matthew is being redacted.
What I'm trying to say is that
be clear. So you said Matthew is being redacted. So Mark is redacting Mark. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, no, sir. Matthew's account of this. Matthew's account of Jesus' baptism. We are looking at it to be a reduction of Mark's version.
Go. So what you the verse you read, which is the reduction there? What has been redacted?
Okay, he is trying to reshape it from bringing down Galilee from what Mark has stated that Nazareth of Galilee. He just brought out Galilee.
Right.
Yes. Okay. And with the last verse on what Madam Essinam was saying, that you are my beloved son, with whom I am well pleased. That's what Mark said.
Mark says what?
You are my beloved son, with you I am well pleased. That is when Jesus came out of the water.
Right.
And that voice was speaking directly to Jesus.
Right.
Then with Matthew, he said, "This is my beloved son with whom I am well pleased." Not directly to Jesus. Yes,
So who is redacting who? So you said
yes. Matthew was speaking from Mark.
it was
And
redacted.
he added more dialogue to
Mhm.
his verse.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I can
No-
say.
Okay. Batman, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. I will say something about the language, the refinement of language.
Uh-huh.
When you look at Mark chapter 1, verse 10, he
Mhm.
said that, and just as he was coming up out of the water, he saw the heavens torn apart.
Mhm.
That is what Mark wrote. When you
Good.
look at Matthew chapter 3, verse 16, he says that, and when Jesus had been baptized, just
Mhm.
as he came up from the water, suddenly the heavens were opened. I
Mhm.
can see a reduction here. And
Uh-huh.
why is this a reduction? When you look at what Mark wrote, torn apart.
Yeah.
Matthew Matthew wanted to make or polish that language
Yeah.
to suit the people. That's why he didn't use that uproot language torn apart. He just
Mhm.
quoted it and wrote uh, opened to make it more welcome by the people. So I can see a reduction there. Matthew, Mark was Mark was being redacted by Matthew at that point, looking at the language that was used there.
Good. So good. Right? Good. So that is excellent. So in fact, so okay, sugar. Sugar will get some Mac. She tried. But charity and charity and Batman. No, Sugar was trying to say, but it was not coming out clearly. But charity and Batman, in fact, they will score more. So charity and Batman will get, okay, charity will get 4 because charity and Batman will get 3. Then Sugar will get 2. So good. Why? Perfect. Probably I may have to ask a question like that in your paper, your exam. You make them. Now good. So you see, especially now you said Fadari's was excellent. Now she said, now where the Saturn, now where even they started, that means that in Matthew has put more, there's more to Matthew's story than Mark. We say Mark is the one who first wrote. So if Mark wrote, now Matthew is editing. And what do you say redactor means? Redactor will say he compares, he selects, he arranges. No, he compares, he selects, he arranges and edits the text into a new literary document. Now that's what we define, how we defined redactor. So now there are certain things in the story, in Mark's story, that we can find in Luke's story, in Matthew's story. Uh, Certain things in Mark that we think we can, because Matthew seems to have added certain things to it. Now, one is, for example, exactly on top of language, what Batman was trying to say. Now, the way he puts it, now certain words, he changes certain words. Now, in Mark, he says the the, the heavens was split open. It was divided. Now, that's what he says. And then Mark says, that's what Mark says. Matthew said that it was open. You see? Okay. So the meaning he has really pointed at something. It's quite clear. Now we said charity was telling us how Matthew starts, because for Mark, when Jesus he just come out of Galilee, out of Nazareth of Galilee to be baptized, and then immediately then the baptism started. But then in Matthew, he starts there's a dispute, and Charity talks about an argument or discussion or something. There's a dispute between Jesus and John. Who should be baptized? Who should baptize who? That is what so he came there, John, and then they were go. So you should baptize me, and we don't have that in Matthew. We don't have that in Mark. Mark doesn't give all these discussion, all these argument between Jesus and Matthew and John. Now, but Matthew has it. Mark doesn't have it. So if Matthew is copying, if he's saying that he's right there, he had Mark as a source, then it meant that these things, he had his source, but these things were not in his source, but he has added it. So we spoke about selecting and compiling. Now, so he has even put something in that actually isn't in Mark, the text that he was trying to use. Now, and not even that. In fact, then when you come, I was really very curious, the saying, what the voice that spoke. What did the voice say? And I think Charity put it beautifully. Now he said the voice came for her. The voice said, "This is you are my son." That is what Mark is saying. Mark says, "You are my son." And Dorothy Wright said, the voice spoke to Jesus. He was addressing Jesus. As if Jesus doesn't know that he is a son. Now, when you look at Matthew says, "This is my son." The implication is that this one is addressing the crowd, the people who are there. But these are the people, because this is my son. As if the people rather didn't know. So he spoke, "This is my son." And that is a big reduction. You are my son. The implication is that maybe Jesus didn't know that he's a son. And then in Matthew said, no, but we have to put it right. This is my son. Which means that maybe Jesus knew, because the information, the story, they tell that Jesus knew. So now he's telling the crowd. This is what we talk as reductor. He has reducted the story into something else. So when we are going to interpret it, if you should want to interpret it, you may have a different interpretation to this. So we can call this reduction. Do you understand it now? You just say reductor now.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what you are trying to demonstrate? Good.
Yes, please.
So good. So that was beautiful. If you get something question like that, I guess you would find it easy to answer. Good. So that's what we talk about reduction. So reductor is one who compares, select, arranges, and then edit the written sources. What has been written, the source that he have, the sources, he changed them and put them into a new document. So that is why we have two we have gospels. So it means that we have Mark's gospel, we have Matthew's gospel. So that is why we have these, because if they're all about Jesus, if the gospel is talking about Jesus, then what we have we have about 4 gospels, which means that there's something to every one of them. See the way that they present Jesus. So maybe Mark Jesus may be different from Matthew Jesus. So we can talk of Matthew Jesus and then Mark Jesus, the way they have presented the two. So this is a reduction. So we can speak of this as reductor. So when we talk about, so we're saying that now when you're talking about biblical interpretation, especially if we should use the triangle as it is given by communication theory, by linguistics, then we'll see that the originator will be an author, an editor, a redactor, or the community. So that is what we see. So that in this case, Matthew's story has been redacted. Mark's story has been redacted into something new, so that maybe our understanding would improve. Our understanding will be different from the way you understand the original. So that is the redactor. Then we have audience. We have the audience, and audience here we represent the original or the subsequent hearers or readers. The subsequent hearers or original hearers or the subsequent hearers. Now, the original hearers would be those people for whom Mark or Matthew or Luke, the people they wrote for. The way we wrote, we said that, right, Charity?
Please, with the original hearers, can we also say they are the readers or the interpreters?
Yeah, so they can be the readers, because the people for whom he wrote, the original ones. So the audience could be the original hearers or the subsequent hearers or readers. Who are the subsequent hearers? You who are listening to this. You go to church and they read out to you. You are the subsequent because you follow. So the audience would be original hearers or the subsequent hearers, original readers or the subsequent. Anybody who reads it now will be the subsequent. And then the universe of ideas and events. Now, the universe of ideas is shared. No, we're talking about the thoughts, the perspective, and then the understanding. No, the thoughts that make communication possible. You see, so the thoughts, the ideas, the perspectives, between the reader, what the reader communicates, and the audience, the originator. So they share the same world. So that's where we come to understand the communication. So you can read and understand. And so you see what happens. For the subsequent hearers, you couldn't understand because it was written in Greek. And you don't understand Greek, you can't be here. So there wouldn't have been communication. But now it has been translated into English, so you can now read. Or you can now, when they read it, you can hear it. So that is what it is. So now communication can take place. So we have that. Then we have the biblical text taking the place of the signal. That will be the medium of communication. Now, and that will have been begin oral in form, but now we encounter it in written form. Because when Jesus went there to be baptized, or when this happened, now Mark was Mark with Jesus. How did Mark get his story? You said you did the Synoptic Gospels. How did Mark get the story? Was he there when this happened? Was Mark there with Jesus when this happened, when he was being baptized? Isa, you have not spoken today? Isa, are you there? I saw you in a flash. You pop up and then you went away as the way you pop up. Isa. Okay. My question has not been answered. I was asking, was Mark there when Jesus was baptizing, or when John was baptizing and Jesus came? Batman?
Yes, sir. What I can say is that Mark wasn't there, but his writings was based on oral tradition and the early preaching of the Christian community. That's what I can say. That he used the oral tradition to write his messages.
Good, so he might have used orator because he wasn't there. If he wasn't there when Jesus was being baptized, then he might have heard this story. And then that was what he used. Good. So that's why we're saying that the means of communication might have started with oral, it was an oral form, but then now it is written. Now we receive it, we encounter it in written form. So that is what it is. So God, so it means that. So that is what, so when we apply the communication in a triangle, the factors need to Bible, the biblical interpretation. Then we have that. So we have the originator, we have audience, we have universe of ideas and events, and then we have biblical text. So that is what we do. Charity, how many more minutes we have? Oh,
Yeah, we have hours. So.
we have hours. Oh, good, go hours. Right. So good. So that is, so how many hours? 3 hours?
We will close by 12.
12.
Yes, please.
Okay. So good. So that is what we have. That's what we can say about that. Now, so this is the communication process. Now the scheme. This same scheme that you have the triangle. The triangle can also, especially we said when we talk about interpretation, we are dealing with what we call methods or principles or procedures that we use in extracting meaning from a text. So there'll be a principle that we use. Now, is somebody cooking? Who is cooking? Or is somebody in the kitchen?
Sir
Sir
Batman.
Batman, please, your mic.
Oh,
Your
Batman.
mic.
Batman is in the kitchen.
I'm sorry.
Oh, good. So good. You say maybe right. So good. Now, so that is so now we have that the principle, the way, the formula that we have. Now we're saying that all that these are the factors in it: a reader, a sender, an audience, a sender or a reader, a sender, the signal, and then we have the world of ideas. Now we're talking about interpretation, and we're saying that now in interpretation, in this biblical interpretation, we have various methods. We say methods or approaches, that we use in trying to get to understand the text. Now it means that now these are, and we mentioned that when you're reading, you look for you want to reach an informed understanding. Now, and we said why? Because a text has various varieties of various ways. A text has various aspects to it, various ways for which you can look at a text. And that is why we cannot talk about reading for the meaning. Because the meaning we think we imply that a text has only one meaning. That we look for informed understanding, because there are various aspects of a text meaning. So, because you cannot sit at a certain, you cannot have a one certain, or even so many times, and then you come to know the meaning. Now, so it means when one is doing something, you may look at it from one particular angle. The example I gave, when you have your exam, you write your exam. Now, if it is being marked by 2 people or 3 people, you may not score the same, it may not have the same mark. Maybe you score differently from one may give you A, another may give you B. So which means that they are looking they are looking at the test from different angles, either from the angle of the sender or from the angle of the reader, the originator or the audience, or from the angle of the text itself, the text artists. So these are the 3 areas, for example, that you could look at. So if I'm trying to read to mark, I can mark from the angle of the author, or from if I read something, my interpretation may be from the angle of the reader, which the angle of the sender, which will mean I want to know the intention of the reader or the writer. Or it may be from the angle of the reader, the one receiving it, or from the text. So these are 3 ways of reading a text, 3 major ways. We call that. So when you are interpreting the text, we can maybe the formula, the method would be any of these, either from the point of view of the writer, or from the point of view of the receiver, or from the point of view of the text. Now, in doing this biblical or this interpretation, this way of interpreting this method, now, or this approach, using this approach, now we use them, or we treat these approaches as a form of criticism. So the approaches are treated as forms of criticism. And what does criticism mean? When we say what does criticism mean? So we say we use the approaches as types of criticism. What does criticism mean in this case? Pina?
Sir, it means bring out the strength and the weakness of the text.
To bring out the strength and the weakness of the text. Okay, who again? So criticism means bringing out the strength and the weakness of the text. Okay, good. So,
Yes,
yes.
let me say something. Over here, I also say you are trying to, the methods of examining the scripture deeply to understand its form.
The method of what?
The method of examining the scripture deeply to understand its form or the meaning.
What do you mean by understand it deeply?
To understand it well.
To
By
understand
considering it, yes.
How is well? What is the well? In what way is well?
Trying to get its meaning. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. Schlegel? Schlegel, your hand is up. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, but you were not minding us. So what is
Oh,
it?
no, sir,
All right.
please.
Uh-huh.
I may also say is examining
So you can examine what? Okay, all right. So figure exam. Okay, you don't. Maybe you have a network problem. Cool. So when we say,
Sir, please, I'm saying that examining and judging a test, that is giving an opinion about a test.
I didn't understand what you said. Say it again.
You examine and judge the test. That's at times you can give an opinion about that test.
Okay. All right. So right. Good. So now when we say criticism, criticism will be a technical expression. It's a technical expression that is used by scholars to denote a field of study. Okay. No. So it's a technical expression used by scholars to denote a field of study. A study which has developed a clearly defined principles and techniques. So criticism is a technical expression which is used by scholars to denote a field of study which has developed clearly defined principles and techniques. So those any study which has defined, we have principles and techniques for doing the study. That is what we call criticism. So that is what criticism means. Criticism is used by scholars to refer to a field of study which has developed clearly defined principles and techniques. So when you're doing something interpreted, you have a principle you follow, or a method that you follow, or the approach or techniques that you follow to do it. In this case, Bible also has developed some clearly defined principles and techniques to go about interpreting it. So that's what we call, so we can talk about biblical criticism. So we have biblical criticism or biblical methods or principles that are used in trying to interpret a text. So so we call those principles criticism. So criticism is from it's a Greek word. Criticism is derived from Greek and it means to judge. Criticism means, it's a Greek word meaning to judge or to discern. You discern or you judge. So criticism means judging or discerning. And it is a technical word. It's from Greek and it means the Greek word krite, no? So krinin means to judge or to discern. And it denotes the process through which discerning judgments are made. It's a process, and that means it's from the Greek word, which means to judge or to discern. And that denotes discerning, and then judging denotes the process. It's a process through which discerning judgments are made. Here with regard to a text. So it means that when we talk of a literary critic, a critic who deals with text, literary, sometimes written. So when we talk of a literary critic, we are talking about somebody who studies literary documents, not literally, not the LLY. We're talking of RY, literally. We are talking about one who studies text, no? Text or documents, attempting to make intelligent and informed judgments about them. So a literary critic, again, is somebody who studies literary documents, attempting to make intelligent and informed judgments about them. So I said, now criticism is a Greek term. It's derived from Greek, and it means to judge or to discern. So when we speak about a literary critic, we're talking about somebody who studies literary documents, attempting to make intelligent and informed judgments about them. So that we mean by a critic. I hope I am understood. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So good. So now, so we have method, we say, or the field of study. If there is a field of study that has developed some clearly defined principles and techniques, then we call that, then we can use the word criticism about it. And we say criticism is from Greek, which means, and it means to judge or to discern. So when we have, and we are dealing with text, so anyone, if there's any course, any study, field of study, like Bible, that has developed some system, some clearly defined principles, and techniques that it uses to go about interpretation, then we can call those principles criticism. And it's about the process through which discerning judgments are made. Because we want to have an informed judgments, intelligent and informed judgments about them. So that is what, so it means that criticism may be either negative or positive. Because you want to make intelligent and then either negative or positive, or it may be complementary or uncomplimentary. But criticism is a neutral term. It's neutral. So criticism does not mean, so it's neutral. So criticism will not need to mean being destructive or being constructive. It is neutral. You are making discerning judgment, informed judgment. So that is what it is. Now, we have various, principles in Bible that we use, because that we call criticisms that we use in understanding text. Now, so with the three that we have looked at, the factors: sender, originator, audience or receivers, and the text and the signal, all this, and the world of ideas. Now we can look interpretation from any of the angles. So when you look, there is something we call a criticism, a method we call historical criticism. So one of the, we can talk of historical criticism, now, which will be one of the ways, one of the angles that one can look at a text, especially when you come to interpretation. So I say broadly, we can talk of three areas of focus when we are reading or interpreting text, either from the author or the text or the reader. So this will be three areas of focus. Now these are the things that, because since we don't have much time to go on, we have only today and next week. So that's what we want to look at, just about only three focus of interpretation, if we can look at all of them. So we have the author, the text, or the reader. Now, the first one, the author. So interpretation that takes into cognizance, that looks at the author. Now, this is sometimes, this author, so we can call it author-centered. So we have the focus is on the author. We can call it author-centered. So this type of interpretation, now which we look at the author, is sometimes called historical criticism. So we can call it historical criticism, or it can be called historical critical method. So we have historical critical method. So either historical criticism, so we can call this historical criticism or historical critical method, or you can also call it author, so author-centered approach. Historical stroke critical, or historical hyphen, not stroke, historical hyphen critical method, or author hyphen centered approach. Just a minute.
Hello, house. Today my network no help me. Kura.
Sorry for you, but I hope you are listening.
I have not been able to connect again. Oh. I will just go and it will just hang. It will hang. I will not hear anything. It's not easy,
Don't
but
worry.
but
Afterwards, you get the audio. Sorry.
all right. Thank you.
So good. So my network was causing trouble. Anyway, so good. Are you there? You are there.
Yes, sir.
Do you-
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Oh, Isa, you are back.
Yes, sir.
So I guess you have lost a lot,
A lot, sir.
and that, in fact, and we did very important issue. We did a lot of important things today. I said today's paper, today's lecture, every lecture is important, but this one today was very, very important. So that was why we've taken it down. We've explained a lot of.
I think when we get some little out and go through, we can be able to cover, and I'll get my colleagues to also explain certain things. I think that would help a little.
God, because the center, the crust of the lecture was that we're talking the communication process and communication triangle, because that is what interpretation is about factors of communication, the author, now the sender, the author, the reader, or the originator or the audience, the text, and then the world of ideas and events, universe of ideas. That's what we do, because these are the things that we were talking about, and that is what makes communication takes place. So without that, there will be no communication. If there's no originator, no communication. Right. So good. So if I'm talking and then you are not here to listen, then there can't be any communication. So that is what we're talking about. So Isa, I hope you try to catch up. So we're trying to look at these three ways, either the author or the reader or the text. Now we're saying that if you want to look at, one of them will be historical criticism, the methods. One is historic, we called it, where you read, you try to interpret it from the point of view of the author. So we said we call that way of reading historical, either historical criticism or historical critical method or author-centered approach. Any of these is how we call it. Now, this type of interpretation or approach or a method or criticism, any of these, not much. So these ways, and these are, we are looking at ways from which we go about interpretation. When we are doing hermeneutics, the science of interpretation. So you can go by some of these methods. So you call them criticism because they are in the field of study, they have clearly defined ways of going about the study, the principles or techniques that you go about a study. And we said criticism is a technique, it's a technical term, it's a technical expression that scholars use to refer to studies, field of studies that have clearly defined principles. The Bible, we also call criticism. And we have one method, one way of interpretation from the point of view of the author. It's called historical critical method or historical critical approach or historical criticism or author-centered criticism. And what do you mean by that? This criticism, this way of reading, now, is concerned with establishing historical realities. Now, that means now this arose, this type of, it started somewhere in the 18th century or 19th century. Now, when people, scholars or writers became interested in trying to establish or trying to read, looking at classical history. Now, especially in archaeology, they wanted to see the facts, historical realities, facts of a case, that this thing did happen. So it's factual. So for example, in archaeology, when you want to study in archaeology, now what is archaeology? What happens in archaeology? Archaeology. Isa, you just came. Now today, especially we had only about 5 people. We had Pina, we had Sugar at the point. As for Stella, I don't know whether she's actually part of the course or she comes and she's other, I don't know. Do you know Stella? Does anyone know Stella?
Yes, sir. Sir, please, maybe her network,
Yeah,
because she used to be punctual.
yeah, but I see her name, but she doesn't talk. I've not heard her. Nothing. She doesn't say anything. So I tell you, the list that I have, she doesn't have a Mac, but I think it's very also important because I tell you that I cannot, maybe I don't want to miss words. I don't want to lie to you. I take very particular. I take very particular your contribution during lectures. because that is my guide, and that's my gauge. If I want to know whether is a good student, that's what I use. As for exam, now you can collect the notes or whatever, and then since Ghanaians you're very used to learning by rote. You can just read by and keep it and copy it. I admire you for your heads, the heads that you have, how you can really read and then keep all these things in your in your head. Then you can memorize it and write it down without thinking. So even you just everything. So that's beautiful, but that is wrong. So for me, it is your contribution in class that I depend very much. If you're going to score A, much will come from that. Now, when I mark your paper, anyway, I don't know. I hope, I hope, I hope you know the one talking to you. Who is teaching? So I'll count very much in the but Stella doesn't say anything. I don't know how a network can always, my network was always bad, but certain times it allows me to talk a bit to you. So if Stella is not coming and not doing anything, then I don't know. Anyway, so what is archaeology? When we say archaeology, what does archaeology mean? Archaeology. So Isa, now we can give Isa some time to try and get a mark today before I talk to the others. Isa, if you hear me.
Yes, sir. I think my idea, archaeology, though I heard the word, but in fact, the meaning is a problem a little.
Oh, you have heard archaeology. You've heard about archaeology.
Yes, I heard it before.
Where? In what context?
I think it was this one they were doing this. What do you know? There was Dana Fariabua who was saying from archaeology to zoology. I think that was when I heard that particular word. Anyway.
Oh, the person said what? From archaeology
from
to?
archaeology to zoology.
Okay, so in that context, how would you mean? What does that mean?
No, from his listing, no, would mean from beginning to the end, or from A to Z.
Exactly, because if archaeology starts with A and zoology starts with Z. Okay, but he didn't like somebody would say from alpha to omega. Then he's using a Greek. Then the person is using Greek terms. So Greek, the letters of the alphabet begins at alpha, which is A, and then it turns omega, which is O. So somebody can also say that. But anyway, but archaeology as a course. Now we talk as a course, as a field of study. What does that mean then? Okay, Charity, I thought your hand was up.
Yes.
So I want to see whether it is talking about the study of artifacts or something of that.
Okay, what you want to see? Okay, see.
I said it's about something study of artifacts or historical places or something of that nature.
Okay, all right. So you have tried to, so you have seen now. Okay. Now, Charity, you want to see clearly.
Okay, so as you said earlier on that, it's an academic, it's a scientific study of human history.
Human what?
Human history.
Human
Or
history.
or the study of the past through things people left behind. And that is based on the art and the artifact that Isa is referring to.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So good. Now it's a study of the past. That's what you say. Is that
Yes,
what you
sir.
think?
Yes, sir. The study of the past through things people left behind.
Okay. Maybe. Okay. So yeah. Does somebody want to say something? Okay. So
Yeah.
today, I think, Charity, what did you eat today?
I took oath.
Oh, then then I will recommend that anytime you have the lecture, you have to eat oats. Charity, keep eating oats. Who prepared it? You prepared it, or somebody prepared it for you?
Yes, myself.
You know how to cook?
Yes.
Oh, very well. Then you can teach me. I don't know how to cook, so I've always been having cup of tea and cereal. That's all that I eat.
Okay.
Good. So, right. So Isa, okay. Isa, you get someone somewhere. I mean, you were trying to say something. Now, good. So actually,
Yes, sir.
right. So it is not just pure study of the past, but study of societies. You want to know societies, you want to know people. So study of people and societies of the past, because you want to know not just about the past, but societies or peoples of the past. By examining the thing that they left behind, either their tools or in buildings or other objects. If it can be spoons, anything. So you want to know how long did these people stay here? Whether people lived there? How long have they lived? What type of people? Now, when archaeology does that, so archaeology will do diggings. So they can, when you go at an archaeological site, we can call some of a mound. In the ancient times, now they had walls built around cities. So now, and people build on other cities so they can go to a city, destroy it, and build upon it. So these are the things. So archaeology will study these things. So if Ghana, for example, there may be a place, they may go there, start digging, and they will discover certain things. The things that the people who lived there used. So they will study them and try to know what type of people these were, how long have they lived here, and on and on. They want facts. So we talk of historical realities. So now in the 18th, 18th or 19th century, this was that was when we had historical critical developing, because people had interest in classical history and archaeology, in wanting to know about people living in all those things, how they lived and who they lived and who they were. And the Bible is one of such things, because people wanted to hear you talk about the quest for objectivity. So, for example, you read the Bible. So, okay, the the, the in the beginning we have the creation story. Then we have the Garden of Eden. Where can you find it? Can tell us. Where is the Garden of Eden found? In heaven or where? Which place? Garden of Eden. Charity, you ate I have a nice what do you call it? My mom sent me oat, British one. Nice. It's sitting there.
Okay.
It's sitting in my, but I don't know. I can't cook it. I called her to teach me how to prepare it, but she has not.
Okay.
So very nice. Eh? So one time you tell me that when you eat oat, you become very alert, more intelligent, you can answer any question. So good. So now. So answer the question. So the Garden of Eden, where can you find it? Or where is it?
Okay. I will say
Mhm.
in heaven. As the Bible said it in Genesis, that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth.
Wait,
And
why is
we,
heaven? Why is heaven? Why is heaven?
where God lives.
And which place is that? Batman.
Ah.
Which place is God lives? We know. Charity, where do you live, Charity? Where do you live? Charity, where do you live?
Fuega. In
Where
the
is that?
Volta region.
Oh, Volta.
Yes.
Also, you can locate the place.
Pardon?
Can we locate the place? Can we?
Yes, that's in Fuega, Northern District, closer to Pando, after Ho.
So, no, I don't know. I don't know what it. Anyway, so you can.
Wow.
Good. Now, you want to go to heaven?
Yes.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, please.
So where do you go? If you don't know the place, where do you go? Where do you pass to go?
Yeah. Where I will pass to go is what I believe in through the Bible, that after everything, Jesus will take me to heaven.
What?
After this earth,
Uh-huh.
yes, through Jesus, I'll get to heaven.
So he will come and collect you and take you there.
Yes.
Oh, you are lucky. You are lucky that you have somebody come to take you to heaven. Okay, Batman. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Your hand is up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's
Eden.
Garden of Eden. Hello, sir.
Yeah, Batman, we're listening. Garden of Eden.
Okay. It's located in the Middle East.
Middle East. Where?
Middle East. Modern day Iraq. That's where it was located.
Why is it written?
Yes, looking at the rivers that was in the Garden of Eden, the 4 rivers.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at them, that's where it is located now. That's what I can see.
What rivers?
We have 4 rivers that flow through Garden of Eden.
Mention some of their names.
River Tigris, River Tigris, River Euphrates.
Or Euphrates and Tigris.
Yes, they are all at that place. So that's why I am saying that might be the place in which it was located.
Charity, I hope you are listening to Batman.
Oh yes, I'm listening.
So you see,
What?
it means he says that Batman says he doesn't need Jesus to come and carry him. He will just go to the Ghana airport and then collect, they said, the Qatar Airways. So he will go and board one straight to Iraq. So he's
Okay.
So, Charity, do you believe him?
I will take his point in this sense that these rivers that we all know is in the Bible.
Yeah.
They are rivers in this modern Iraq.
You and who know that is in the Bible?
Okay. I know these rivers are being mentioned in the Bible.
Right.
And
so
they are the rivers or the real rivers I know are in modern Iraq.
Right.
So with this, so with this perception that people take it in that this Garden of Eden can be found here on earth. Yes.
So you see, so if it is about heaven, I don't need to worry. If I have my money, I will just go and then buy a ticket, find Qatar Airways, and then climb into it. Straight, I'll go to heaven. I'll go to the guy in Iraq. So all that you are struggling for, you end up in Iraq. So you see what is happening. Shagel, your hand is up.
You don't believe that? The same place is on earth.
Which place?
That is the Mesopotamia. That is the modern Iraq region,
Mhm.
which is located between Tigris and Euphrates River.
Euphrates.
Euphrates River.
Euphrates.
Between Tigris,
Mhm.
yes, and Euphrates River.
Right. So which means that heaven is here on earth with us, is Iraq. Is that it?
And that is the Garden of Eden.
Or Garden of Eden. Or Charity, you don't want to go to Garden of Eden, you want to go to heaven. Is that it? Yours is heaven, not Garden of Eden.
Okay, so sir, let me ask you. So
Yeah,
meaning Adam and Eve, they were found in Mesopotamia or Iraq.
okay. The Batman, can you
Okay, I'm
answer?
asking the Batman and
Okay,
Madam
Batman suggest Batman.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear Charity's question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what is your answer to her question?
My answer is that looking at the creation, God
Yeah.
created the earth and placed man on earth to subdue it. But when Jesus Christ came, he said, I am going to prepare a place for you. John 14, 1 to 6 is there.
Mm.
So I'm going to prepare a place for you. So the Garden of Eden was on earth. But when Jesus Christ came, he said he's going to prepare a place. So the heaven that Madam Charity is talking about is not on earth here. So he said he's going to prepare. I don't know the location. So he is going, and when he finishes, he will come back. That's what uh, Jesus Christ said. So the Garden of Eden initially that was created by God is on earth, and that's where He placed man. Thank you.
Okay,
Charity,
sir.
Charity, are you
I,
convinced
I
with
will
what he's saying?
I will take his point
Now,
because also in Genesis chapter 1,
yeah,
the book on creation,
yeah.
yeah, it stated it that
Mhm.
God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was formless. So he started everything on this earth, his creation on this earth,
Mhm.
as he is bringing it in. And that's why I link it to these rivers being seen now, or real rivers in Iraq.
So you mean he started creating heaven and then he will end it in heaven. He will kind of creating earth here.
That he created the heavens and the earth, that's God to say. And then the earth, he worked all his creatures, he worked everything on this earth. So I will accept it in one way or the other based on what he's saying.
So it means that Batman has convinced you.
Oh, he is bringing it to reality.
Has he
That
convinced? He has
he's bringing
convinced.
it to reality.
Has he convinced you?
In fact, I'm not fully convinced.
Oh, I'm not fully convinced. Okay, good. I'm
I'm
not
not fully
convinced.
convinced. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced.
In that case, I'm not even half convinced.
Yes.
So, oh, our minister Batman. Batman is what you've been telling your people. Batman,
Yes, sir.
is that what you have been telling your people who come to church?
Yes, we tell them that
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ came
Yeah.
to the earth.
Yes. From
Yes,
where? You came to earth from where?
from heaven.
Oh, heaven. Okay.
Yes, in a human form. That is Matthew
Yes.
chapter 1. In a
Yeah.
human form.
Yeah.
Yes. And according to his teachings, we
Mhm.
Christians believe in his teachings. And
Yeah.
he told us that he is going to prepare a place
Mm-hmm.
where he came from. When he is done, he will come back to pick us, provided if we do according to what he is teaching us. So we are in anticipation of a place called heaven, of which Jesus spoke about, and everything is written in the Bible. So that is where our conviction is coming from. So we believe that there is a heaven somewhere, and we will go there one day.
Good, good. But when Jesus was speaking, he said, John, Were you there? Were you with them? You said he spoke to us. Were you with them? The guys.
I wasn't there. But looking at the precedents, everything that is being said in the Bible
Mm-hmm.
has come to fruition. And we believe that all the promises that he made and all the prophecies that those who wrote the Bible said, most of them have come to pass. And we believe that the rest too will come to pass. That's where our conviction is coming from.
Oh, good. Anyway, so thank you very much. Anyway, when you go, remember me. Remember me. That okay? Maybe you tell God that your teacher, the one who taught you biblical hermeneutics, you should remember him and bring him there too. Charity, I hope you remember. Okay, good. Charity, I hope you remember me when you go.
Oh, sure. You also go.
Oh, oh, I see. Oh, good. Tina, your hand was up.
Yes, sir.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
I wanted to say that
Yeah.
if the Bible says God created heaven and earth, according to the creation, He created heaven and earth and other animals, heavenly bodies before creating human being. Then, which means Garden of Eden was on earth. That's my suggestion.
Oh, yeah. That's what they are trying to. Batman is trying to say. Oh, do you think heaven and earth is on earth? And
No,
not that only earth is here on earth. Batman says heaven is somewhere. Charity says heaven is somewhere. They don't know where it is. Only Jesus will come and take them there. So that's what they were saying. So I don't know whether you want to say something different. Anyway, so good. So anyway, we have historical, they want objectivity. So which means that in this case, they want to know that indeed now we have Iraq. Batman said we have Iraq. And the story is telling that Garden of Eden is in Iraq. So what archaeologists will say, they may carry the Bible along with them. Then they will go to Iraq and they will try to find, reading the text, they want to see that indeed it did happen. So they will take the text along and then try to locate the place that the text is trying to point out. Then they go there and they start digging to try to find something, because they want to establish a fact, some objectivity, that indeed there was a Garden of Eden, and these are the things, how long it has been known. So that is what they will do. So in the 18th century, studies, people tend to look for the quest for objectivity, to want to know the real facts, historical realities. So this is what we're talking. So archaeology will study something like that. So that is the point we're talking. So historical critical reading is just trying to establish something like that. It means that the approach or the method pays particular attention to the author's contribution and intention in writing the text. So because somebody has written the text, and then he says heaven and earth, God created heaven, this, and then the rivers where it so all that the author is trying to paint to us, these are facts that did happen. It is something that did happen. So when you read text, historical text, that's what they say. When you read history, you read a book, and then it tries to tell you certain places, names of places. So like the Bible telling the places, it's supposed to have been written years and years ago, but then it mentions certain places: Sinai, this, Egypt, Garden of Eden, Adam, in the garden, in this, all, and it has names for them. Any text which will be written, ancient text, and that has particulars like that, we can say that is a way that the author is trying to make it objective, to make it historical, so that if he mentioned, okay, if you have been there before, maybe Iraq or Babylon, or maybe Nineveh. Then, okay, I know the place. So all these are techniques that authors use to make something factual. Now, so in historical critical reading, we try to understand what did the author mean. So you try to read the intention of the author, what contribution the author made to our understanding of the text. So we call that way of interpretation author-centered approach or historical critical method or historical criticism. The implication is that the key to interpreting the text is outside it. Because the point is that the author is not in the text. The author lives outside the text. So we say the implication of historical critical reading or historical critical approach or historical criticism is that the key to understanding it, interpret is outside the text. Now it is located, the meaning is located in the author, in his sources, and then in the concerns and emphasis that he makes in the text. So that is what historical criticism is about. Now, historical criticism of text, therefore, is based on the assumption that the text, one, is historical in at least two senses. The assumption, when we talk of historical criticism, you have an assumption. It is based on assumption that the text is historical. The historical is understood in two senses. One, historical criticism means that the text, the history, that means the text relates history. So you have to understand, you have to listen to this carefully, that the text relates history. And that second, that the text has its own history. So historical criticism, say, is based on the assumption that the text is historical in at least two senses. One is that a text relates history, and secondly, that a text has its own history. Now, when a text relates history, we can now distinguish that from a text having its own history. Now, a text relating history can be understood as history in the text. We have history in the text, and then a text relating history will be history of the text. So we have two senses, assumption. That is a text relating history and a text having its own history. When a text relating history is referred to as history in the text, and the one telling its own history is history of the text. So I think that today we have more. Now, my dear Charity, how many hours do we have now?
We are almost done, sir.
Oh, we're almost done. How many?
Yeah.
Okay, how many minutes? If not now.
Some 7 minutes to close.
Okay, so we want to end here. I think we have had them. Now we have.
Please, let me just, please, if we can use or we can finish with the text and the reader. Oh.
Yeah, we want to. No, we can't finish with the text and reader because that's another thing. Now we want to, because this history on historical criticism, that's what we want to end here. Now, history in the text, we have two issues: history in the text and history of the text, and that is very important. So when a text is relating history, we have the historical criticism is based on the assumption that a text is historical in at least two senses. One is that a text tells history, got a history in the text. And then the second is about a text having its own history, the history of the text. Now we shall explain not now if the history that we are talking about the story in the text, the history. So when you read the text is telling history. It is talking about history. So when he talks about Garden of Eden, we take it, the garden has a name, so the history. So we are talking about what is about Garden of Eden in the text. We have a text of his history. What is he saying about it? So that is what we're trying to. Maybe in our next, our final lecture. Now we'll have to look at that. Now, which is said next week Sunday. By now,
Yes, please.
yes, next week Sunday. I don't know the other students, the undergrads. I think I have a lecture with them, but that lecture is at 9 o'clock. I think either 7 or 8 or 7 or something. So the other time I said that if they come, then it means that I think 7 to 9 or something. I think about that time. So if 7 to 9, then we can have hours maybe from 9, just as we had it one time. The first time we had it, it was, I think, after 9, but 9:30 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can have a lecture, maybe 9:30. Then we try to do what we can. Because now you have a lot to, at least you understand hermeneutics, you can pronounce the word and you understand what it is. I think, today you were trying to do some exegesis, trying to do some reduction. We have reduction criticism also. That's part of it. That's a part of historical criticism, reduction criticism. And that was what Charity and Batman and Sugar, they were trying to do. So already you are now becoming experts. So good. So next week, which is the final day, then we will start maybe at 9:30. Hopefully, something about that time. We'll look at that. I don't know what we can do. Good. Any question so far? Now, did you understand what happened today? Our lecture today?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
very important because most of your essays, if not all, will be from here, from what you have done today, because we have done so much today. We have done some exercise also and all that. So, right. But if you're now we're looking at the method, we have understood biblical exegesis, biblical hermeneutics, everything. Now we are looking at the procedure, the methods, and the principles, and that's what we're looking at. What are some of the principles? Now we're going to. So we started with one, and then we'll look at text and read if it's possible to do that. Okay. Any other question? Okay. So if no question, then we can. Dorothy, you have to send me a timetable if you have it.
Okay, sir. Please, the exam timetable or our academic calendar.
Academic calendar. I don't know whether you have exam time. Do you have exam?
Yeah, the exam timetable normally comes with a quiz timetable, but it's not yet out.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the calendar. The calendar.
Okay.
If you have the
Sir.
calendar. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have no question, Then I wish you a good day. And what are you going to cook, Charity?
Rice, sir.
For who? For yourself?
Yes, please. And
You live
my family.
your family. You mean
Yes.
your husband and her children?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good, good, good. And they will eat rice, or you decide what to cook.
I'm deciding, sir.
Oh, okay, right. Sugar, what are you going to eat?
Sir, please, I'll be eating fufu.
Hey, fufu. For who? You and your family too
Oh,
again?
no, I'm alone here. My children are at school.
That's good. So they won't come back.
Oh,
Oh, they
one
are
is at Legon, one is at KUST.
oh, okay. So they wouldn't be there to be eating the fufu. So okay, you're eating with your husband.
No, he traveled.
Oh, I see. So you are alone.
Yes, please.
You will be eating the fufu alone. Okay. Hey, can you? I thought fufu is done by two people.
No, now we have machine, and you can do it alone too.
Oh, I see. Because I saw people pounding. I think you need to have strength to do that. So if you okay, so anyway, so Issa, are you going to eat? We don't have a lecture today.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Issa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I will eat TZ.
You eat what?
TZ, Tuozafi.
A TZ.
Yes,
Is it
please.
is it archaeology to zoology or what? Because TZ, it's archaeology to zoology.
The full is Tuozafi.
Oh, I
Sir,
see.
this one is from T to Z.
Oh, T to Z.
Yes.
From A to Z. Oh, okay. T to Z. Oh, okay, I see. T to Z. Oh, good. So you prepare it yourself.
No, my wife would do that.
Or you have to do it. Oh, I see. But you will not be helping in the kitchen. Helping.
I do.
Oh, good. Oh, great. Oh, beautiful. Oh, good, good. Then that's nice. That's the first time I've heard Ghanaian man saying that he helps at the kitchen.
We do.
The other people, they say they don't help at the kitchen. They just eat. So the wife has to prepare everything because I was asking the man, he said that if he goes to the kitchen to help, the wife would say that okay, the next day is 10, go and cook. So he wouldn't do that.
That's archaeology.
That's archaeology. Okay. So it's archaeology.
That's a pass. But to be frank, sir, it is true. Some of them will turn it to a distance. But I do. But I don't have this thing. But when you tell me to go and do it, I will not do.
Oh, I see.
I do it at my own.
Oh, great. Oh, that's nice. But in England, you have to, I mean, the wife, because you are living together, the two of you, so you have to, the wife will prepare you, he'll be saying, do this and do that. At the end, then you wash up. The man, you wash up the plates, excellent, know that. That's what you have to do. So you're cooperating. Your wife is not he's not a slave for you. So it's so beautiful. So I was surprised because they said that in Ghana, if you do that, they said that the man, you'll be laughed at. I said, how? So God, he wouldn't do it. So, so good. So Isa is a good man. So, Pina, are you going to eat?
So I am.
What are you cooking? WZ or WZ or PZ?
So I am.
Oh, yam. Oh, yam. Oh, good. Yam. So you're cooking yam. You like yam.
I like banku.
What about that? Yam, you said yam, you said the other one.
I'm going to cook yam, but the food I like is banku.
So why don't you prepare that you prepare yam?
I ate banku yesterday.
Variety sake, sir.
Oh, oh, I see. Oh, I see. So you are changing your diet. Now today is a yam. Okay. So
A
anyway,
signal.
eh?
A signal.
Signal. Okay. So anyway, so then I wish you well. I'm also going to have a cup of tea and bread. That will be my dinner today. So you see,
Hey,
you are
don't you
eating
eat heavy food?
Tuesday. Heavy food. That's what I need. That's why I was asking Charity to when you come to prepare something for me. She said she's a good cook. So good. So enjoy your meals, and then we shall meet. So you don't have lecture today. The lecture you're done with lectures today.
No, we have
No,
one
sir.
to follow
At what time?
at 2. 2 to 6.
What course is that?
Psychological perspective in RME.
Oh, they said they have sociological perspective, psychological perspective, and all those things. Every perspective. Okay, so we have now looked at what again? A historical perspective now. So you're going to look at sociological perspective or psychological. Okay, so we can call it a day. So you can prepare for your psychological perspective.
Okay, sir.
Okay then.
Thank you, sir.
So we got you welcome. So we'll meet next week, but at 9:30. Maybe
Okay.
this will be it. Okay. Okay. So enjoy your day.
Same. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You're welcome.
We are most grateful, sir.
Okay, oh Isa, you're welcome. So Isa, I hope you ask them. I'll try to send some handout, but you have to. If you have any question next week, you can ask questions. No for explanation. If you don't, so those things because it's very important what you studied today. I can assure you
All right,
that
sir.
you the questions, some of them will be there. So if you have
Okay,
not,
yes, sir.
you won't be able to answer.
All right, sir.
Okay. So have
We
a
will
good
be
day.
expecting the handout, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I will try. I will try to send the handout.
All right, sir. Most grateful.
You're welcome.